Hi and welcome to a new Decred development update. In the past few weeks, we've experienced some major turbulence in the markets with privacy-focused cryptocurrencies gaining popularity. Decred was able to get listed as a privacy coin on CoinMarketCap, which led to a massive price increase to $70 before a correction. Now, regardless of price, the Decred DAO is focused on building the most decentralized, optimized peer-to-peer ecosystem possible. In this video, we'll cover development updates across several Decred repos, including the core software, the Atomic Swap DEX Bison wallet, and much more. As a quick recap, Decred's privacy is called Stake Shuffle, formerly CoinShuffle++, a coin mixing protocol built directly into the proof-of-stake apparatus with high participation in post-quantum cryptography so supercomputers can't undo the privacy. Mixing is coordinated at the node level, making the mixing unstoppable. 10.5 million DCR out of a supply of 17 million, or roughly 63%, is in a mixed output. Decred solved the privacy paradox. You can anonymize your coins via MixNet while the supply remains 100% audible and free of inflation bugs. Auditability is critical for a governance-based cryptocurrency, where the larger the stake you have, the more voting power you have. One of the reasons Decred pumps so hard is because the supply is well distributed after being live on mainnet for almost 10 years. Furthermore, most Decred is self-custodied by users in their own wallets rather than being on exchanges. This means when there is real demand for Decred, the price flies. Additionally, a huge amount of Decred, around 60%, is locked in the staking system, and over 5% of Decred is in the self-funded Treasury. This creates conditions for a supply shock. Now looking at development updates, Pong with Schnorr signature betting has arrived. Users can create game rooms and set Decred bets. The player that wins 3 rounds of the classic Pong game wins the bets. This is a standalone application. However, it does use signed pub keys from already established wallets like Decrediton and Cake Wallet, which must be included before the match begins. Victor compiled a blog post for how this works. The blog explains how Schnorr signatures with adapter signatures can solve a custody problem in online betting games. Using Schnorr's cryptographic properties, players can lock their funds in addresses they control while pre-authorizing 2 possible outcomes, e.g. player 1 wins or player 2 wins. The server holds a secret that, when revealed after the game, allows only the actual winner to complete their transaction and claim both deposits. If the server disappears, players can retrieve their own funds after a timeout period. The next game being developed is Poker, which is almost finished. So yes, you can do permissionless poker peer-to-peer betting with your friends and have the bets settled via Schnorr signatures on Decred. Pretty cool. This work was all funded via Politeia proposal at proposals.decred.org and approved by Decred stakeholders, showcasing the DAO's ability to fund new and exciting projects. Decred version 2.1.1 is here. This is a new major release of dcrd. Some of the key highlights are a new consensus vote agenda which allows the stakeholders to decide whether or not to activate a new decentralized Treasury maximum expenditure policy, exclusion timeouts for disruptive stake shuffle mixing participants, less bandwidth usage for stake shuffle mixing messages, configurable maximum overall memory usage limit, higher network throughput, faster address decoding, hardware optimizations for hashes, various updates to the RPC server, infrastructure improvements, and other miscellaneous network and protocol optimizations. And for DCR Wallet, several improvements to help reduce the number of manual rescans needed, stake shuffle mixing enhancements to increase speed and robustness, unmined tickets will no longer be incorrectly pruned in certain rare circumstances, better stability for transactions and staking operations, and wallets now support birthdays to improve efficiency. And now for Bison Wallet, Decred's peer-to-peer Atomic Swap multi-coin DEX, work focused on various improvements, including bug fixes, refactoring for code quality, updates to cryptocurrency wallet support like Digibyte, Zcash, and Vero, testing improvements, and UI fixes. Closed pull requests include updating a list of RPC providers across multiple components, updated the Docker image for Go and Node.js, added support for Digibyte version 8.22+, fixed a segmentation fault crash that occurred when closing the window on macOS. Bison Wallet version 1.0.4 was released. This updated the DCR Wallet dependency to version 4.3.1, fixed an overflow bug for VWAP calculations, now shows an upgrade banner if newer versions are available on GitHub, deserializes Vero blocks from bytes, fixed Git block hash for Vero compatibility, enabled coin mixing for version 5 wallets, the wallet now checks for used addresses, the copy button is now hidden on unsecure connections, updated the BTC wallet dependency to version 0.16.10, created a new syncer on run error, handle market parameters update, and the app build version is now in the UI in the hamburger menu. Bison Relay version 2.0.4 has released. A major part of this update is users can now do voice calls one-on-one or do what's called real-time chat, which is a group voice chat all over the Lightning Network. Improvements include improved send and attach file user experience, cleaned up the UI and UX of the user search address book panel and functionality, saved chat embedded files to disk, and added attachment and emojis to feed comments and replies. Now let's review some recent Politeia proposals. The Tatanka Mesh proposal seeks $150,000 paid in Decred over 8 to 12 months to build a production-ready, opaque messaging network for decentralized applications. The system consists of mesh nodes that route encrypted peer-to-peer messages and client libraries that simplify connecting to the network. Key features include Sybil resistance through fidelity bonds, a reputation system for rating users, Oracle services for blockchain fees and exchange rates, and robust denial of service protection. The initial network will support 5 to 10 nodes with comprehensive chaos testing to ensure resilience under adverse conditions. The first planned use will of course be for atomic swap-based trading on Bison Wallet, though this proposal focuses solely on delivering the core protocol infrastructure, with application-specific proposals to follow. Decred ticket splitting is another feature being considered as a use case of the mesh network. Work will be done by the Bisoncraft LLC developers. This proposal had a 91% voter approval and a 52% voter turnout. The Decred Pulse dashboard proposal requests $8,500 USD payable in DCR to fund a self-hosted dashboard for monitoring Decred nodes, wallets, and blockchain activity. The funding covers $4,200 for completed work, including a Docker-based stack with a Go backend, React frontend, node and wallet monitoring, block explorer, treasury tracking, and address bookmarking, and $4,300 for ongoing features like wallet creation user interface, packaging for home server platforms like Umbrel, Casa OS, and Start9, binary distribution, and comprehensive documentation. The aim is to strengthen network decentralization by making it easier for users to run their own Decred nodes with a modern interface for monitoring various facets of the Decred blockchain. This proposal passed with 94% voter approval and a 24% turnout. The Bison Wallet General Development Proposal requests a maximum of $103,000 for 6 months of Bison Wallet development, covering $70,000 for core maintenance and $33,000 for new features. Since the last proposal, the team has completed features like multi-hop arbitrage and Coinbase integration for market making, a new EVM swap contract reducing gas fees by up to 65%, private swap wallet support for Decred and Bitcoin, and a pure Go Electrum implementation for one-click wallets. Note some of these features are still pending release in version 1.1.0. Work going forward includes adding a functional Monero wallet, implementing Decred Politeia voting integration, completing MEXC exchange integration, and building a market maker liquidity verification tool. This proposal went on to pass with 94% voter approval and a 58% turnout. The Treasury Expenditure Policy Consensus Change Proposal requests $10,000 paid in Decred to modify Decred's decentralized Treasury expenditure policy through a consensus rule change, addressing the current overly restrictive spending limits that are becoming problematic as monthly expenditures approach policy maximums. The new policy would allow a maximum expenditure of 4% of the available Treasury balance per policy window, which is approximately 24 days, with a minimum floor of roughly 10,800 Decred, replacing the current system that limits payouts based on Treasury income plus 50%. This change provides long-term stability by basing limits on the entire Treasury balance rather than continuously decreasing block rewards, and it allows eventual spending of the full Treasury while maintaining fiscal discipline and security protections against key compromises. This work will be completed by Company Zero within 4 to 5 weeks for implementation, plus a minimum of 3 months for on-chain voting for activation. This proposal passed with 92% voter approval and 49% turnout. The Decred Africa Community Activation and Growth Proposal requested $28,120 for a 6-month pilot program to grow Decred's presence in Africa through measurable community engagement, targeting wallet installs, governance actions, follower growth, and partnerships across the blockchain ecosystem. The team demonstrated their activity at events and on social media like X. The proposal ultimately failed to reach voter quorum with 18% voter turnout with low approval. A 20% voter turnout is required for a proposal vote to be valid. Phoenix Green had a video on Decred's dual transaction tree.
Decred transactions are divided into 2 trees within each block: the regular transaction tree and the stake transaction tree. The stake transaction tree contains transactions related to Decred's governance and consensus system, while the regular transaction tree includes all other types of transactions. As of block 552,448, the Treasury reward was moved from the Coinbase transaction in the regular tree to its own Treasury-based transaction in the stake transaction tree. Time-dependent transactions like DCR DEX bond creation and redemption, Lightning Network channel operations, privacy mixing transactions, multi-sig and other contract-based transactions, where transactions requiring multiple signatures or governed by more complex scripts. The first transaction in the stake tree is the Treasury-based transaction, which allocates 10% of the block reward. This structure improves management and accounting by directly crediting the Treasury account, ensuring funds are reserved for governance-approved expenditures. Treasury funds are managed by dcrd stakeholders. Spending from the Treasury requires stakeholder approval through a voting process, resulting in a Treasury spend transaction once approved.
Thanks for watching this Decred news update. Check out decred.org to learn more.